Hello, this is Adrian. I go Capricorntigress of Astrology, a look inside. And I am just making this quick video because I wanted to, one, thank all those who have reached out to me and have been supportive to me over this past 30 days. It's been a crazy 30 days. And, I feel like I'm growing and I'm learning. I'm maturing. I'm probably aging as well. It's a very unique situation. But I can tell you that everything that is occurring is astrologically sound. I mean, textbook astrologically sound, from the fact that everything that occurred happened when the sun was conjunct my Venus, and Jupiter was on my Venus in the 10th house, very public, and my Venus conjuncts the 11th house, very Facebook. The entire thing, it's almost like I'm in a movie. Even down to the fact that I found out that my husband was a covert narcissist. I know that in that field you're never supposed to call them out, but it's so textbook. I mean, every detail is there. There's not one thing missing. So, wow. And I am, unfortunately, a classic codependent. It's there. Everything. Amazingly. It's so weird because you've got a situation where one person is feeling too much, right? They're demanding, right? And they want your affection and your love and your attention. And one person's withholding. And they're never going to give it because, well, they don't know how to love. This is what I've figured out now. You know, at first, there's the pleading and the why. But I went to deep research. I also was hypnotized, so I think that helped. But it's amazing what I found out. There's just like a whole community of people that this has happened to. And I wouldn't think I was part of that, or that, you know, that narcissist codependent thing, except every single detail in our relationship pointed to that. Even from the fact that this guy wanted me to call him master and me to be his slave. That's one person with all the power and another person with zero power. That is a very, very toxic relationship. Now, my thing is, if there's love, right? Whatever is going on, it can always be fixed. But if one person doesn't have the capacity to love, like you and I, like normal people love, you know, when you love someone, you've got a well of emotions to pull from, in the moment of distress, arguments, disagreements, whatever. There's always that love. You always go back to that place in the conversation, in the argument, in the disagreement, in the relationship. But if you don't have that, if you can't feel that, if you never could feel that emotion, then you have nothing to pull from when the bad times come, when the storms come, when the arguments come, when the disagreements arise. In this case, when he was facing homelessness and went on an alcoholic binge, my reaction was probably normal. I'm not a girlfriend, I'm a wife. There's a difference. There should have been a different response after knowing someone for 9 years. But I have found that this happens sometimes after 15 years or 20 years or even 25 years. The whole thing about the relationship is that one person has to give to feed that other person. And then once that dies, then they move on to something else to feed them. Now, and some narcissists don't. Some they like the pain. They like that darkness, that sadness, that whatever that is. What I'm discovering is that one, and I even told him this, we have a little secret group, I wrote it to him. One, I feel like him releasing me was an act of kindness. I do. Because he could have kept this going maybe another 7 years or 14 years or whatever, and left me when I would have been completely devastated. Right now, I'm still cute. And I think I bounced back well. So, and I feel like my prospects are better than what I had. So, I'm okay. I'm okay. I am, I don't want to do as so many who have had this done. If you go on YouTube, you'll see there are so many who have really kind of dedicated their lives to discussing it, because they call it ruminating. Because first of all, you can't believe it's real, that there's someone walking around there without enough emotion to even talk to his wife, right? That's a commit. 5 years I was with this man. That is a person with no soul, okay? But the fact that there's a community of, for protection. Oh, wow. I've learned so much. I feel like and I won't lie to you. I've been a Mormon for 33 years of my life. A Mormon. Yeah, I'm not, I always say I'm a Jack Mormon. I'm not perfection. I try my best to follow the words of wisdom, but I don't always do it. And I married a man who was not a member of my church. And so, these are the realities of what happened. I knew when I married him that he was an atheist and I was a Mormon. So I get what I get for, marrying a man who was not a man of God. I just didn't know it was an alcoholic who was, that alcoholic narcissist thing. That is part of it. It's just go to an Al-Anon or something, where the partners of these people go. What happened to me is classic textbook, and I understand that I have to now make a decision for myself, for empowerment. And this is why I started this entire video. I had made 2 videos for the sign of Capricorn in the month of November, December. But I'm making this again because I am a Capricorn and I have Capricorn rising. And I've got Saturn, which is now in Capricorn for the first time in 28 years. It is in Capricorn, and it is now approaching my sun with the quickness, which is in the 12th house, but sitting on the first house cusp. Now, Pluto, that means, Saturn's not only going to pass my sun, but it's about to go over my ascendant. Pluto is already over the ascendant. I almost died twice with Pluto hanging around my first house cusp. It is now 1 degree separating. I don't think it'll bounce back, but you know how Pluto does. It keeps doing that. Bounce back, bounce back. It might even go back into my 12th again. I hope not, but, I'm in that process of life. And this is well written about. If you do not know about the process of Pluto on or around the first house cusp or ascendant or rising sign, please take a moment to Google that, because it is a life phenomena. That's Saturn around the first house cusp, Saturn around the ascendant, okay, and Saturn around the sun. Look it up. Then look up Pluto around the ascendant, Pluto around the first house cusp, or right within the first house cusp. These are major, 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 major. And I feel, although shell-shocked, I'm shell-shocked right now. I realize in a way that I'm blessed. I am blessed to be someone who has this opportunity to go through this Pluto on the ascendant is once every 248 years. I just want to preface how rare it is, okay? There's only certain ones of us who will get to experience it in this lifetime. I feel particularly, well, frightened and honored to have been chosen for the honor, okay? And yeah, it's amazing. I think it's also weird how, you know, this whole psychic thing, that whole Pluto first house thing is that psychic thing, especially when it was in the 12th house. But you don't realize, and now I'm okay, I just got to back up for a second, okay? I want to say this. I mean, on top of everything, I've got my Cancer in 29 degrees, and everything that blew up with my marriage, because it's in the 7th house, happened when the North Node hit 29 degrees of Cancer. When you get that woo feeling, I've got that woo feeling. I realize I'm living according to script. Even though, as an astrologer, I warned my husband. I remember back in June warning him, look, honey, in October, it's going to be XYZ. Oh, don't worry, honey. I love you. Nothing could ever separate us, right? Woo! I'm living that woo-woo. I've been visited by several dead ancestors, which is woo. And yeah, just weird things are occurring. I will say, and I wanted to talk about this too, although that 7th house, right, opposite the 1st house, 7th is opposite the 1st house. So when Pluto is sitting on your ascendant, what is it opposing? Your descendant, right? Pluto power is opposing your descendant, your partner. Even if I didn't mean to, this man probably felt opposed by me. I can't hide myself. How can you do that? We must be ourselves. And I really believe that Pluto on the ascendant begs us to be ourselves more than anything, more than any other placement. We have to be authentic. Even if that authentic is different and unique and odd or odder than everyone else, it's still the you that is you. Being the you that is you is everything. Well, I guess this means I'm going to have to cut this call short. I don't even know who that is. Let me see what they say. Who's calling me?
Hey, it's Adrian. I'm not available.
Interrupted my work.
And I'll get back to you. Have a good one. Bye.
Don't you hate that? Let me tell you something. If you take the time to call my number, leave a message. Do you see how I screen my call just then? I screen every call like that. If I don't know your number and it says unavailable and I don't know your name, I ain't picking up my phone. There's crazy electronic stuff out there. I want to know who I'm talking to. And if you don't have the decency to say, hello, this is Cheryl, or this is Carrie, or this is Mary, and I like to talk with you, girl, call me back at ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. You can't do that, because everyone thinks you're operating on a cell. I have a landline. So if you don't leave that, guess who ain't getting the call back? You. Okay, so don't call me unless you plan on leaving a message. Okay, I'm trying not. See, look, let me tell you something. I have, after this experience, I'm so full of all this stuff. I thought, okay, there's something wrong and broken with me. I've got to fix what's wrong and broken with me. Because we all got stuff that's wrong and broken, right? Nobody's perfect. I know I'm not perfect. Lord knows. Okay. In fact, when this all went down, I was at first thinking, oh, I'm the narcissist, because I've got this obsession with myself, with taking like images of myself and videos, as you can see. I've been at this now for like 4 years, really. But I lost 300 pounds, and I like playing with hair and makeup, and I just like seeing the change, because, child, if y'all saw the way I used to look, you'll be like, how is that the same girl? That's because I'm paying attention to my essence, right? Anyway, it's a long story, but that's the world I live in. But, at first I thought, oh my God, I'm the narcissist, because I do have narcissistic tendencies. And it's because I was wounded too. I come from a wounded past. I have found out I'm not narcissist. I'm codependent. But I was diagnosed as a codependent before, actually in a medical facility years ago. I tried to harm myself. I tried to commit suicide. It's a long story. I was in a codependent relationship with my daughter's father. 7 years of my life. That man cheated on me so bad. Took me back, left me. Took me back, left me. Proposed to me, dropped me. I mean, everything. Had a baby with me. Had another family on the other side. Everything. Every possible thing. So, and I was young. So you could say that my first serious, I had a child with a man, relationship was with a narcissist. I mean, I learned how to be submissive and to beg for the scraps of love the man was willing to throw to me. So when I married this other man, it was easy to fall in that trap. I know with my first husband, it was a battle every day. I mean, I wasn't submissive to him. I yelled and fought back, and man, we fought like dogs. But he had a crack habit, and I had a child, and I went to the women's shelter and got away from his ass. Anyway, I'm telling you, anyone want to help me write my story? I am more than open to share my story with the world. I am an open book. That's what Pluto in the first house is all about. I will share my story because from the beginning, do you know I was raped at 18 months old? Who is raped at 18 months? Moi. Okay? And I've been in therapy off and on all my life. So my life ain't normal. It never was normal. And even the fact that I feel like I'm at the beginning of something great. Like, I don't feel like I'm destroyed. 2 or 3 weeks ago, before the hypnosis, I was feeling destroyed. This man hypnotized me to believe I am strong, capable, and confident. And every day and every way, I'm getting better and better. And every day and every way I am. I'm losing weight. I'm looking younger. I'm feeling more alert. I'm flirting every day. I mean, I feel like I'm coming back to life. And maybe that's what this period of life is about for people with Pluto on the ascendant, or with Saturn around their sun or around their ascendant. It's a time of awakening. It's a time of growth and maturity and about taking responsibility. And that was something I was about to get on a couple of minutes ago, and then I'm going to stop, because Capricorns, I can run us into the ground this month. There's so much going on. Do you realize with 2019, we are about to go into something really great coming up in December, January? From the 21st of December on. It is on and popping for us Caps. This is about to be our time. So we really have to take stock of everything around us. Take a good look at where you are in your life right now. Are you on the precipice of greatness? Are you? Because I am. While all this has been tanking, right, silently, something I probably put into place ages ago, and I don't even know from where, or whence, or how any of this is occurring. But one of my websites, which I swear I barely pay attention to, is generating 1,000 leads a week. I don't know how it all started. But I know that even though there's something not good happening in one area of life, there's another area of life that needs my attention right now, and that's my career. And you know, we have had Jupiter up in and around our 10th and 11th house all, you know, for a while. So I hope that you Caps are taking advantage of that, because somewhere in your life there is this sliver of good luck going on right now. Now, Jupiter is about to go into the 12th house for many Caps, because it's going to go into the solar 12th house when it goes into Sagittarius. Okay. But even then, don't look at it like we're losing luck. Just look at it like we're going to have 2 years, right? 2 years to get it, like, whatever we need to plan and plot and prepare for when Jupiter hits our first house of abundance. That's what we do when it's in the 12th. For me, it's actually going into my solar 11th, or my natal 11th. So all the hopes and dreams and wishes hopefully are going to come now. But, you know, just be aware, we're dealing with some really powerful transits. Right now that Uranus is retrograde into Aries, but it's going to bounce back into Taurus again. And of course, then that means it's going to be in a trine aspect with us and not a square aspect with us. And that's going to help a great deal. So I'm hoping, you know, I can't wait for that to happen. So anyway, I just felt like I wanted to come and talk and share. I still have to do Libra and Aries. I'm so busy talking about real life that I've not even finished my readings. I'm going to do you guys. I'm sorry. I don't even know why I put off Libra and Aries like that. I have a Libra friend and an Aries friend. I know both of you guys are waiting for your readings, and I'll make sure I do it. Well, you guys, this has been Capricorntigress. I could run on at the mouth, and see, at the rate I'm going, I'm probably going to make another video. But I love sharing, and I realize now why I share so openly. I'm not going to hide anything anymore. Why? What's the use? And I did some research on it, and I found out that's exactly what the Pluto in the first house does. That's what Pluto in the Ascendant does. It just rips everything away. Whatever mask you had. You know, I'm sure everyone that knew me and on Facebook, or my husband on Facebook, probably assumed we had a beautiful marriage. We always took wonderful photos and went to wonderful events together. But, you know, this man was in England and I was in America. And he never made a single step to move me to England or for him to move to America. And it had become the bane of all of our arguments. Because, you know, he wanted to take me on honeymoons and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, wait, are you saying that's not a honeymoon if you're going to just take me on a vacation and then you go back to England and I go back home? Then we're still apart. We never committed. It's like it was failure to launch. We never got into a marriage. Even after we dated, we were still just, I mean, after we married, we were still just, he was still just a long distance lover. He never became a husband, nor did he have the desire to. I'm sure he still lived the life of a bachelor wherever he was. And of course, it's easy to walk away from someone who has no importance in your life, your real life. I think I just became that little fake thing that he had on his phone. And that is the saddest part of the reality of what had occurred. But I'm sure that is it. There's, like I said, there's no love to pull from. There's nothing for him. I was never really there to him. Sad, right? So it makes me also, and I think that reason I'm sharing this story, Caps, I want you guys to really be careful about who you let in your life. Saturn and Pluto around the first house is no joke. It's not to be played with. And I think that we really need to choose the people that you allow in your life very wisely. I mean, it's okay to make friends on Facebook or whatever, but I'm saying as far as taking it into a more personalized or intimate place, like I did with this man from England. I believed him because I thought I was dealing with someone who was like me. Not everyone is honest or true or real. Some people don't have that within themselves, so they can't share that reality with another because they don't live in the reality that is reality. You know, the reality is there was nothing that actually changed. He, I believe, has the same job. I'm the same woman. He's the same man. The situation's exactly the same. The difference is up here and up here in the heart. And if there's nothing to pull from, if there's no love there, there's nothing to hold on to. And I respect that. I just know that whatever I go into in the future, I want to make sure there's a person, a real person there with real emotions that is really committed in the relationship and has something truly vested in the relationship other than saying, oh, I've spent $20,000 on you, you know, over the course of 5 years. Well, that's not a real vested anything. That's just money. Would have spent that drinking in 5 years. So it's important that you find someone who is treating you with respect. And I know that both Saturn and Pluto on and around the first house has everything to do with respect. Gaining respect, deserving respect, commanding respect, demanding respect. I mean, just, we are becoming, well, we're maturing, right? I'm no longer a young schoolgirl, and I'm sure many of you are not either. So we're maturing. We are becoming the authority, many of us, in our fields, especially, like I said, with that Jupiter up in that 10th, 11th house. Definitely, like I said, maturing, and many of us are like matriarchs of our family or business women. Capricorns are not the type of woman to be stepped on or to be subservient. We are strong. We are powerful. We are the authority. And we must be ourselves. We must not allow life or others to suck our genuine essence from us. Okay? So it's about embracing the reality of who we are and who we're becoming. Because that person you envision inside of your soul and your mind when you're asleep, you know, sometimes you've got an image. Hold on. If you see that image of yourself higher, greater, doing bigger, better things, hold on to that image. That's the real you. That's the you that is you. That's the you want to become. Find yourself. You know, for a long time, when I saw myself in my visions, I always saw myself sitting in the back of a limo with probably an assistant, a notebook, a telephone, a fur coat, some heels, and I don't know, some Perrier. I never see myself poor. I always see myself with this beautiful glass house on the beach. I always see myself rich in my mind. I already know what my house is. I've got it all designed, everything. Double stairwell, greenhouse, tennis courts, pool, beach. I know what I want. So, all of you Caps, I think this is a time for all of us, really. Even if we have to sit down with a pen and paper, and because, you know, we're known for organizing, plotting, and planning. Write out what you want. Are you on course to get what you want? Or are you just settling? I will just say this, and then I'm going to go, because I was going to stop 15 minutes ago, and I'm still running my mouth. Okay, I can tell you this. before this whole crescendo happened, you know, in tarot, it was the Tower. It was doomed. Okay, it was going to happen. But before it occurred, I had gotten so weak in my aura, in my essence, that I had developed this allergic reaction to almost all foods. And my body had gone into almost a rigor mortis state. Literally in the hospital, you know, seizing. They had to give me Dilaudid. I was so in so much pain. And it was as though the essence of my soul had been drained. Well, that could be. You know, if what I believe is true, that I was with a narcissist, in my case, I think an incubus. But, you know, that last act of cruelty would have sucked me dry. It was the Tower moment. So I was dead, laying on the ground. I was pretty much out. Even before the Tower moment happened, I was ill, and that led to the final Tower moment. And that in itself is classic discard behavior. They almost always leave you when they think you're ill or there's nothing else they can get from you. What he didn't know is that I was just regenerating. Oh, and by the way, Pluto on the first house and in the first house indicates constant regeneration. Just because you're down and out now doesn't mean you'll be down and out a month from now. We have the ability to regenerate, to rejuvenate, to regrow, regain. You know, that is our essence and our power. And we're going to have that for like 20 years. In my case, I have a huge first house that extends all the way to Pisces. I will be in power in Pluto until I die, I'm sure. We're talking 50 years or something. Listen, gain your power. Don't let anyone take it from you. Listen to your intuition. Follow your highest inner voice. Write down your dreams, goals, and desires, and plan for you to become the king or queen or goddess or god of your world. Don't let people step on you anymore. The days of allowing others to step on you is over. Okay? You've got Pluto in the first house now. It's hanging out there. It's been there. And Saturn's there now. And there's lessons we need to learn. And if we need to separate ourselves from the bad things in order to learn those lessons, the most important thing is that we learn those lessons. Okay? Well, this has been Capricorntigress, Adrian Igo of Astrology, A Look Inside. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing and sharing my videos. And thank you so much for tuning in and watching my videos here on YouTube. Much love and much light to you all. Namaste.